Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ram. First time I'm stopping by. I'm Najida designer based in Lagos, Nigeria. So in this video we are making this top that you are seeing here on the screen. It's a off shoulder and it also has the elastics for the sleeve. So let's move right into it. As always guys, we are working with our basic body patterns, and this pattern has 1 inch is allowance. It's only the front that I had here. The back is exactly my bust circumference is divided by 4, while the front carriage is 1 inches. And don't forget that this is a half pattern, it's not a full pattern. So let's move right into it. So for my shoulder leg, I'm going to connect my shoulder leg and then my waist dart leg together. So after connecting it together, I'm going to mark my under bust line, which is 13.5. So after marking 13.5, I'm going to roll out a straight line there. To tighten my under bust, this is a method that I find it more easier and I can't stop exercising on this. So to do that, just measure your round under bust, divided it by 4, mark it, and then measure what remained there. That's what you see me doing here. I measure what remained there and just put it on my under bust line. That's what I use to tighten my under bust line, and it's always work for me. So after marking it, I'm going to connect it to my waist. After connecting it finish, I'm going to use a marker to make it more visible. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark my bust point, which is 10.5. After I'm done marking it, I will now use my cuff ruler to curve out my posture. And make sure that you place your cuff very well and you use the rounded cuff of your cuff ruler to curve it out. After covering it, I'm also going to use my marker to make it more visible and also connect it to my shoulder darts. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to close my shoulder darts to draw in my neckline. After closing my shoulder darts, I'm going to draw in my neckline. So for my front depth of neckline, I'm going to come down by 5.5 inches and draw in my neckline. Just look at the way I placed my ruler. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to open my shoulder dart and tighten my neckline. So I'm using 1 cm on both sides. That is about 0.25 on both sides. So I'm connecting it to your bust points. From the chest line, I come in by 1.25 before I draw in my neckline on the armhole. I'm just showing you guys because I remember that I will show you what I measured then. So from the waistline there on the center form, I'm going to come in by 7 inches, and for the side I come down by 1.5 inches. So before I draw in my style line, I'm going to close in my darts before I draw in the style line that is going to be on the end line. So first of all, I'm going to draw in straight line. So after drawing straight line to the darts, I will now use my cuff ruler to cuff that side. Just look at the way I'm placing my cuff ruler. First of all, use something straight before I use the cuff side of my cuff ruler to cuff it out. So this is how the hemline is going to look like. So after that, I'm going to use my marker to make it more visible. So guys, we are done with our front pattern. Let's move to the back. For my back pattern, as you can see, there's no any dart there, so I like it to be that. That's why I did not see any dart there. So on the center back, I come in by 0.75 before I mark in my waist measurement and connect it to the back line. Also blended it to the hip line. This allows any zip bulginess and make your zip well relaxed on your body. On the side back on the waistline there, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches like what we did on the side front. So on the waistline on the center back, I'm going to come down by 0 inches like what we did on the center front. Just give it a little bit off and then use something straight to connect it to your side back. So when I'm okay with it, I'm going to use my, before I mark in my back neckline, what I have to do now is go back to my front pattern. From the shoulder on the armhole, I'm going to measure what I have there, which is 4.25. I'm going to take it to the back armhole and mark that 4.25. So after I mark is finished, for my back depth of neckline, I'm going to come down by 8 inches. So after I'm come down by 8 inches, I'm going to connect it together. So after connecting it together, we are done with it. So what's remaining now is to cut. So guys, after I've done cutting out the pattern, I also went ahead, I'll label my pattern, which is very important. So guys, I went ahead, I cut out my fabric and also the lining. I added my stitches allowance on the side and also all the part that I've not added stitches allowance to. As you can see, there's no stitches allowance on the pattern, so I added my stitches allowance to it. The side I added 1.5 and the center back I added 1.5. The way part is half inch and the front is unfold. So after I remove my pattern from the fabric, I'm going to use it to cut my wording. As always, if you follow me for a long time, you know that I always use the light one to padded my bust area. So for this time, I'm using a full wording for it. I'm cutting a full wording for it. And the reason why I removed the pattern for the fabric is because I don't want to add any stitches allowance to the wording. I like to cut it exactly what is on the paper without the stitches allowance on it. After I cut it finished, I'm going to remove the pattern for it and place it on the fabric. So after I've done placing it, I'm going to use my iron to hold it together. So guys, after I use my iron to hold it together, I'm going to pin it together now and tuck it to the machine to pin stitches. I'll also pin the lining. But before I took it to the machine, I'm going to fold in my paper stain. I'm going to fold it as many as possible. So after that, I wanted to cut a circle. So I'm going to measure 3.5 inches all the way around. There's not any specific measurements for this, and I'm going to tell you guys the reason why I'm cutting a paper stain. I wanted to use this to prep in my bust area after I'm done joining the pieces together, so you guys understand more along the way. So after I'm done cutting the first batch, I'm also going to cut another one. So before I start cutting the second one, I'm going to use the first one that I cut because I realized that the length is too long. I'm going to use the first one that I will cut as many as I want. So I'm going to cut what I have there. If I'm okay with it, I'm going to stop cutting it. So I want it like a empty pieces. So I'm going to do it on both sides of the bust. That is going to be 9/9 on both sides. So I have 9/9 on it, and I'm going to cut the one that's going to be on the center. So before I cut the one that's going to be on the center, I'm going to measure from the neckline down to the underbust on the center of the fabric, which I have 6 inches. For the one that is going to be on the center part, I'm cutting a rectangular shape and I measure my 6 inches before I cut it out. So guys, we have done with it, so let's move to the sewing part of it. So guys, as I'm doing joining the pieces together, I'm going to notch the underbust line. So after notching it, I will now start ironing it. So I'm going to use a bust arm, the homemade bust arm that I made by myself. I'm going to use the bust arm to iron it from the other bust up to the neckline. After I'm done ironing the bust area, I'm going to iron the remaining part flat. So guys, what's remaining is to use the paper stitch that we bought in a circle. So I'm going to place it on the bust area and make sure that it starts from the underbust line, and we call this method a prepping method. So after I'm done prepping it and everything, by using my bust arm and then using my iron to start molding it, use it to molding it, just placing it one after the other, and use your iron to start molding it. So I'm going to place 9 on one side and 9 on the second. That's why I say I use 18 for all of it. And the one that's going to be on the center, it's not really that necessary to be exactly what you use on the bust. So just you can reduce it by 2 or 3. So it's not really that necessary. So I'll start by placing it, make sure that it doesn't pass under bust line, and place it and using my iron to start molding it. So after I'm done with the first side, I'm also going to do the second side. So this is how it's looking after I'm done the both side of it. So the next thing I'm going to do now, by placing one that is going to be on the center, so I make sure that everything stops at the underbust line before I use my iron to press it together. So I use 6 for the middle part and I use 9 on both sides of the bust here. So guys, we are done our poster prepping. So next thing I'm going to do now is by pushing it outside and iron it again. So guys, what do you think about this method? This is something you are going to practice, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section, because this method is look like a bust caging, which is more like that. If I didn't show you the inside on how I do it, you guys will not know that I do not use any caging for this, just the paper stain, and it's giving me the result that I wanted, which is good. So you can also trim out the excess if the paper stick get to your stitches at once. That's why you see me trimming it. So let's continue our sewing. So guys, before we continue our sewing process, I want to thank all my subscribers that subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every one of you guys. And those of you guys that haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, support your girl, leave a comment, like, it really go a long way. So let's continue. So I'm going to place the back on top of the front. Make sure that the right side is fixed the right side. So I've also pinned the lining, so I'm not taking to the machine to get the stitches. So after I'm done joining this side, this is what it's looking like. So for the lining, I also go ahead and I put my regular boning and sew my regular boning on the lining. So I place 2 on the front and 2 on the back. So this is what it's looking like. So the next thing I'm going to do now, by placing my bra cup, is a push up bra cup. So I'm going to place it and make sure that your bra cup stop on the underbust line. So after I'm pinning it, I'm going to take it to the machine to go and stitch it to the lining. After I'm done stitching it, this is what it's looking like. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to place the lining on top of the fabric, and then I'm going to pin it together. Make sure the right side faces the right side. So I'm going to pin all the way around. The only place that is going to be open is the armhole, so I'm going to use that place to turn it outside. So after I'm done pinning it, I'm going to stick it to the machine to go and stitch it together. So after I'm done stitching it, I'm going to notch it, cut out the corner and turn it out through the armhole. After I done turn everything outside, I'm also going to give it a good press, and this is what it's looking like. And this is what the inside is looking like. You can see how neat it is. So what remains now is to cut out the sleeve. The sleeve is elastic, so this is what remains for my fabric. So the sleeve is not really that long, but I will advise you, if you have enough fabric, you can make your sleeve longer than this one. So I'm going to measure what I have on the armhole. So after I measure it, I'm going to fold the sleeve into 2. As you can see, I'm cutting both these 2 sleeves together at once. So I'm just going to curve it out. Just look at the way I'm doing it. Measure what I have there is exactly what I have on the armhole. Plus your stitches allowance. Don't forget your stitches allowance. So after I'm okay with it, I'm going to cut it out. After I'm not cutting it out, I'm also going to purchase it if what I'm having there is what I wanted. So I added 1 inch stitches allowance because what I have on the armhole circumference is 8 inches. So divided by 2 is 4. Don't forget that the sleeve is unfold. So the next thing I'm going to do now is by folding it, the hem of it and also the edges of the sleeve, and took it to the machine to go and stitch it. So after stitching it, this is what it's looking like. So what I'm going to do now, by passing in my elastic, join the side of the sleeve, and also went ahead and I fixed the sleeve on the body and also the zip. So this is what everything is looking like. So guys, this is the end of today's tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and also ring the notification so whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified. See you guys in my next video.